Alright guys, here back once again with another review, and today I'm going to be looking at the G.I. Joe Classified Series Cobra Shadow Tracker. I'll also be doing a comparison between the 6-inch figure and the original figure from the Pursuit of Cobra line, just to see how those two marry up. So let's crack into it. So you got to look at the artwork here, of course, and the loadout there. I really dig this here actually. Mayan temple in the back, yada yada. We look at the side panel there. Have a good look. He's number 108 in the line. And then we've got to look at the back, everything that he comes with. Then you've got to look at the tampos over here. I think it's a jaguar skull and some other, I guess, claws or bones or something. And then we've got his rating. So that one's a bit obscured, but I can tell you that it is, from left to right, I'm talking, environmental specialist. And you've got a level 4 for Shadow Tracker on that front. The next one over is arrow weapons, which he's a level 2. Next one over is stealth, and he's a level 4. And lucky last is environmental specialist jungle, and he's a level 4. So he's definitely one of the higher expertise Cobra figures in the line. So let's have a look at what's inside the box. So I've taken the liberty of unboxing him off camera and removing the plastic ties here, just so we can get him out easier. We can have a good look at him. And as you can see, you got the artwork there. So let's have a look at that face sculpt. Look at that. That is dynamite. You've got this little necklace of bones. Nice vest here. You've got the jaguar skin pelt. He's got some more bones here. Got his dreads dangling away. He's cool, man. Yeah, I'm happy with this figure. Dig it. Some nice detail on the gauntlets there. Yeah, he's dope. Let's see how well he stands by himself. Yep, that's cool. Nice one. Yep. Let's get him into a couple of poses here. This shoulder pauldron with the jaguar skull on it lifts up nicely. He can get into a T-pose quite well. His head articulation is kind of limited because of his dreads, but you can push it forward and back a little bit, not a great deal. Ab crunch is probably going to be restricted as a result of the vest. Yep, as expected. Limb-wise though, he's good. This will be interesting to see how far this one goes up. Yep, sweet. Digging that. Range of movement's good. He's not clunky at all. Ankle rockers. Kind of limited by these boot leg, I don't know what these are called. There's a name for them, but I can't think of it right now, but you know what I'm talking about. I'm not sure about these though. They kind of look like rockabilly shoes to me. But yeah, it's a small thing, nothing major. I guess they're trying to just add to the aesthetic. Alright, so let's stand him up. Alright, this is a bit clunky. There we go. Get him back here. No, it doesn't want to pivot. Yep. All right, so let's put him up against his smaller version. Which is now a pain in the ass. So that's the original. So you can see some similarities. between the 6-inch figure and the original, but one vast difference is in the legs. He's got no camo paint on the classified version, and the head obviously has that green mask that you see featured on the classified box. The vest is similar, a lot of pouches, so they've stayed true to that. The difference here with the gauntlets, they've got like a green sort of paint sculpt on there, whereas Lenny and Co went with the bones, which I like a bit more. The bolo on the side is cool, and I believe that the classified version doesn't have that, but we'll get into the accessory in a second. On the back, I thought that knife was removable, but hang on a second. There it is. Yep. So he's got the knife holster on the back there, which is a nice touch. The Hasbro team knocked it out of the park when they made that figure. So let's have a look at the accessories for this version of Shadow Tracker. Now, I cut the bag open off camera because the noise irritates me, and just to save some time, basically. So first things first, we've got his compound bow, which I don't believe is supposed to look that bent. So that's mildly annoying. So if we compare that to the original one, this one's a lot more basic. This one is a bit more complex and, you know, aesthetically pleasing. But this one is straight, and this one is not. So yeah, that's going to have to be heated up, which is annoying, but it is what it is. Now, next up, we've got Shadow Tracker's axe. Not much of a bend, it's not too bad. Now, the original figure didn't come with an axe. It came with a machete, and it also came with, I believe it's called a kukri or something like that. So it's bladed. It's an Asian bladed weapon from memory. And as you saw, he has the knife on the backpack. He also comes with this knife, the original one. So again, the Hasbro team went to a lot of trouble for the accessories for the original Shadow Tracker. This one is from the 6-inch line. So if we marry that up with the one I just showed you, they've basically copied that pretty much. So that's good that they've, you know, lived up to that. But they kind of cheaped out here with this axe, and when they could have gone with something a little bit more ornamental. Anyway, now another thing that differs between the original and the classified version is this spear. They come with our smaller Shadow Tracker. Very Predator-like, obviously that's what they were going for. I would have liked to have seen them give this spear to this version, but for whatever reason they didn't. And I think they missed the mark there, because it's a cool item, and you know what? You could almost give it to this version anyway if you wanted to. I may even do that for photography purposes or whatever. So yeah, that is an option that you do have. Now, looking at the backpack and quiver, you've got a spot here to hold some items. Now, the original quiver had paint apps on the tip, on the this part of the arrow. I cannot remember what it's called right now, and was far less detailed than this, and it just sits flush I'm sure this one will sit flush in his back as well. Don't know why they didn't decide to throw some paint on there. Probably money purposes would be my guess. But yeah, that's the backpack. Now, the 6-inch version also comes with an arrow, as did the original. Unfortunately, my original doesn't have the arrow. When I bought it, it didn't come with it. So I can't do a comparison on that front, but it's an arrow. You get the idea. With the original one, the arrow did fit in the backpack. And just like with this one, it will no doubt fit right in like so. It's a little hard to push it in there, but I don't know why, but it's not going in there as easy as I thought it would. Oh, there we go. Okay, it takes a little bit of force, which is pretty hokey. I'm not going to push that right now, but as you can see, it fits in there. Now, the cool thing about this 6-inch version that the original doesn't come with is these two masks. The original figure obviously wasn't detachable unless you forced it off. This one, however, will just slide nicely on there and just fits quite snug. Now, they blacked out the eyes on the original. I don't know why they didn't do that with this. I guess that was just a design choice they made. But I guess you could always paint them if you wanted to. And then you have the menacing face underneath. Now, you can't really see much of underneath anyway, even with the light. But yeah, it's cool nonetheless. And let's chuck the skull on, give him a whole different look. The original figure didn't come with that. I don't mind it. It gives him, you know, a jungle, tribal kind of ruthless look. But I think I personally would be going more with just his straight up face. I think it just looks dope as hell. But you have options. We like options, you have options. So there's that. Now, this is also a little part here that will no doubt be lost very easily. I believe that is to go on the compound bow, like so. Yep, donezo. I just want to show that curve once again. Now, there is another accessory that our 6-inch shadow tracker doesn't come with, which I think, again, is a miss. And that is the netting that the original figure came with, which allowed you to trap your prey, or you could even use it to carry the accessories, because he doesn't have a lot of room to put those things on him. So yeah, again, another choice that Lenny & Co. decided to move away from. But yeah, I'm not too sure why. Haven't had any explanation on that. But, you know, this is what happens when things progress and cost cutting and so on and so forth. So let's get him geared up and see how this all comes together. I'll just slot this in like so. That sits pretty snug. It's not coming off easily, which is good. That. Now I'm guessing you can put the axe in here. Maybe not. Let's have a look, see. So the axe doesn't fit on the backpack, I don't think, but it does fit down there on his hip easily enough. And his bow fits on his backpack. Now I think I've got that right, but due to the curvature of the thing, I don't know if it's sitting as flush as it should be, or if it's supposed to be the other way around, but it does fit on there. Then you've got the knife. That should, no, that doesn't want to go in there. Okay. Maybe the handle. Yeah. I guess you could do it like that. Doesn't really make much sense to have the knife there, but yep, you can get the knife in on there, and that on his hip, and that is him all geared up. I do notice that this is starting to come loose though, the backpack. The hair does get in the way a little bit, and that's why it's sort of off his shoulder, but you kind of have to push that in. If you move his head, it's gonna loosen it. But for display purposes, it's good enough. So that's him. Just gonna pop this on. Sit him back up. And that is Shadow Tracker for the classified line. Now I'm just going to quickly grab his 4-inch version. Put him together just so you can see the overall difference. And again, the hair on this does pose a bit of a problem with getting this on. And there we have them in all their glory. I guess the beauty of the 6-inch classified Shadow Tracker is that he can hold all of his gear, whereas the original is limited in that sense, and you basically have to bundle some of it in there. But you know, if you do look at the back here, you can get the quiver and the arrows on there, and he's also got a blade, a machete that can attach to the backpack peg, and then you got the bolas on the side, which I showed earlier, and you can hold the spear. You know, whereas this one, you only have the arrow, the bow, and the knife that can go in there. And I guess he's got a hold of his little skull trophy. Both great figures in their own right. There's a lot to like about the original. There's a lot to like about the classified one. I'm happy that we've already got him in the line. I just wish that they had probably, you know, stayed a little truer to the original. You know, I would have preferred the camo, just to give him a bit more of a military aesthetic, but that's just a personal opinion. The spear, obviously, as I mentioned, would have been a cool touch for this figure, but alas, they didn't give us that. Maybe they want to shy away from the Predator style look that the Pursuit of Cobra line was going for. All in all, I really like Shadow Tracker. My main criticism, well, besides the curvy bow, which I did mention earlier, I just think he's a bit light on in the accessories department. This one came with so much, you know what I mean? It was so much bang for buck. And I guess if they'd given us more, he would have had to have been a deluxe figure. I don't know, I just feel like it's a little bit sort of cheap. Other than that, my only other gripe is the rockabilly style boots. But, you know, that's just, it is what it is. If I'm going to give him a rating out of 5, I'm going to give him... Ooh, tough call. Tough call. I'm going to give him 3.5 sharks out of 5. Yep. He's not a 5 shark figure in my opinion. And I may be a tough critic because, you know, I'm still yet to give a 5, I believe. If I go back through all my reviews, maybe someone else can prove me wrong. But yeah, that's where we're sitting. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the review. I hope you've enjoyed the comparison. If you don't have the Pursuit of Cobra figure and you're into 4-inch figures, I highly recommend you go back and get him. And if you don't have Shadow Tracker in the classified line, you know, he's a unique character. He's newish. I would like some storytelling to be told about him. I'd love to see him in a cartoon or the comic books or whatever. But yeah, I recommend both figures. Your collection is not going to be hurt by adding them to it. So anyway, thank you for watching. If you did enjoy what you watched today. I urge you to go back and check my other reviews and unboxings, and give me a like, subscribe to the channel, that would be greatly appreciated, and you have yourself a great day. Happy collecting.